I have created a second room, and in this second room, I've got a path, and I've duplicated my enemies. So I have enemies for level 2, and I duplicated my OBJ enemy spawner for level 2. And so if we rated the game, you'd see that my enemies are following the path. My towers can shoot. So I'd make sure that you're at this point before you continue on. If I go look at enemy spawner, everything's the same. So I duplicated it, but I changed one thing, and so it's going to generate level 2 enemies that follow that path. So I've got that in. But now the next thing I need to do is in OBJ spawner, in alarm 0, I want to add a switching case statement, so I can do something different for each wave in there. So I'm going to cut this if statement out, delete the comment, and then I need a switch and case statement. So I'm going to go ahead and add in a switch, and we're going to switch or change things based off of my wave. So global.wave, and then curly bracket, and I'm going to end the whole thing with a curly bracket. And then for case right there, I'm going to put a 1 in. So this is if I'm on wave 1, do the following things. And so to end the case, I need to add a break, and then my code will be in here. So if I'm on my wave 1, I'm going to add in my logic I've had before, and I'm going to clean this up a little bit. There we go. So if I'm on wave 1, and if my spawn count is less than my spawn amount, create these enemies, fire off alarm 0 again, which is what I'm on, and go through this again and again. So I'm going to go ahead and delete this right here. So I'm just creating this one enemy. And let's go ahead and duplicate this, and then test it out. Oh, I noticed I have a mistake. So on the break, you don't want a colon, you want a semicolon. And now let's copy case 1. Go ahead and there we go. So we've got case 2 in there. We'll change this to 2. And then I want to spawn enemy 2. And so we're going to see that we have 2 different types of enemies. We have enemy coming here and then enemy 2. And so let's test this out. So I've got the first enemy coming in on wave 1. Wave 2 comes in, and I've got my other enemy. So let's make this a little bit better, and let's add 2 more cases in. So eventually we'll get 2 more waves. So I'm going to copy 2 and go to 3, and I can generate 2 enemies at once if I want to. So we'll copy that, and it's going to be enemy and enemy 2. So they're both going to come at the same time. Change the 2 to 3, and now I'm going to add case 4 in, and we'll do even more with this one. Let's change the 3 to 4. And I'm spawning in these 2 guys again, but the spawn amount is just a variable, and it corresponds to 5. So instead of bringing 5 in, I want to go ahead and say, let's make it a really difficult level and add 20 of these guys. And this would be the original 5 plus the 20 for this one. And so we're going to spawn in a lot of enemies. So just kind of progressively make this harder and harder. You can also create a really hard enemy and have him just come in on the last level. Well, let's test this all out now. So here we go. I'm on wave 1. Put some towers in. We'll just test this out. Wave 2 is gone. Wave 3 should generate 2 different types. It knows how many are coming in, so not too many. Now when I go to wave 4, you can see there's a whole lot of enemies coming in. So we'll let this play out, and then we'll see what happens. You see, we need to change one more thing in our code to make this fully functional. Okay, so they stop spawning. We'll wait for these guys to go away. And up here, we see we go to wave 5, but we didn't make a case for this. And if we fire, the alarm keeps firing off to run 6. And we're going to go to 7 now. And then 8. And so this is going to be kind of an endless cycle. So we need to say, hey, when we get to our last wave and there's no more enemies, go to your next wave. Or go to a win room if we want to do that. And so I have 4 cases here. And I can now go to alarm 1. And I want to add in a little bit more logic here to do this. So I'm going to give myself a little space. So right there, I'm going to say if, then in this I want to say if global.wave is equal to 4 and if I have no enemies, be instance number for the obj enemy parent. So if there are no enemies at all, then if that is less than or equal to 0, then finally I'm going to say I just need to go do something. So it'd be like either go to a victory room with a button to go to the next level, or just go ahead and go to the next level. So I can say go to, or it'd be room go to, and this would just be the name of the room. So room name or something like that. And let's put a comment in there, say name of next room. I don't have that created, but you could put that in. So it's going to give me an error, but it's okay. So if I'm on wave 4 and I have no enemies, then go ahead and go to the next room. But if I'm not at wave 4, if I'm on wave 1, I need to keep firing this original part of the alarm. So I'm going to say else, put a little curly bracket in, put a curly bracket there, and now this whole if statement is inside of this if statement. So I've got an if statement and an if statement here. And now this should go ahead and go to my next room. If I was to hit F5, I'm going to get a rendering error, or I'm going to get an error because I haven't created that room yet. But now I should go ahead and move on. So I can create an unlimited number of waves now, just a matter of how many switching cases you want. And once you've already started doing this, you could go ahead and copy and paste and have a lot of different ways for each one. You can customize them. You can bring in certain enemies. You don't have to bring in certain enemies.